Hello everyone. Welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our chapter connectors. Now this one is part number 25. So till now we have already covered 24 parts of connectors. Well, what we are going to discuss in this session, let us discuss. So in this lecture, we will cover the following topics. Now what are the topics that we are going to discuss? These are actually some connectors, as we have already started time denoting connectors. So these are actually time denoting connectors that we are going to elaborate in this session. Well, we'll elaborate as, then until, and then till. So we are going to discuss these three connectors in this session. Okay, so one by one we'll discuss each and every connector with their rules and examples. Okay, so first of all we'll discuss the connector as. Now first of all, let us discuss meaning of as. The word as can be used as a connector to denote time in a sentence. Okay, it means when we use a connector to suggest the time, to denote time, we use as. When used in this way, it means when this as is used to show time, it indicates that two events are happening simultaneously. Simultaneously means parallelly. It means at the same time, or that one event happens during the time of another. It means when one action is going on, another action is also taking place. So when two actions are being done simultaneously or are done simultaneously, we use as. Okay, now let us have some examples. As the sun set, the city lights began to twinkle. Now here you can see that as the sun set, it means as soon as this work happens, as soon as the sun sets, the city lights began to twinkle. So at the same time, or in parallel of this event or this action, the city lights began to twinkle. It means they began to light up. She listened to music as she worked. So she listened to music. It means while she was working, she was listening to music as well. Okay, so both the works are being done parallelly. Now let us discuss usage of as. First of all, the first use of as is to show simultaneity. As is often used to indicate that two actions or events are happening at the same time. It means they both the tasks are occurring simultaneously, or you can say parallelly. Okay, or at the same time. For example, as the rain fell, the flowers began to bloom. So as you can see, as the drops of rain, they fell on the ground or on the flowers, the flowers began to bloom. Okay, the sentence means that the blooming of the flowers was happening at the same time as the falling of the rain. Okay, as soon as you can say the rain drops, they fell on the flowers began to bloom. Okay, so this is actually both the actions are being done simultaneously or are taking place simultaneously, or you can say parallelly. Okay, at the same time. So there we can use as. Okay, now sequential actions within a time frame. Sometimes as is used to connect actions that happen one after the another. Okay, now as can be used to show two tasks which are occurring parallelly, or you can say simultaneously, or you can say at the same time. But it can also connect two actions that are occurring one after the another in a sequence. It means work A, when A is done, then B began, then C began. So this is actually the sequence of work that is one after the another. Okay, so this sequence can also be shown with the connector as, or you can say these two type of actions that are occurring you can say one after the other or sequentially, we can use as. Okay, within a short time frame. For example, as she finished her speech, the audience erupted in applause. Now as she finished her speech means, suppose there is a person A who is speaking, okay, who is giving a speech. Now as soon as this person is she, okay, a girl, as soon as she finished her speech, the audience, it began to applause. Okay, so obviously after listening to that speech, at the same time they began to applause. It means Here the speech finishes and here the applause began. Okay, so or the applause begins. So here the actions are being done sequentially, one after the another, and that and there to connect these two type of actions we are using as. Here the audience's applause starts around the time she is finishing her speech. Now, background action or situation. As can introduce a background action or situation against which the main action occurs. Now, you can say that the background action or situation against which the main action occurs, it means whatever is there, the main action which is occurring, and we are creating a background for that, there we can use as. Example, as the night grew darker, they found their way by the stars. The growing darkness of night is a backdrop to the main action of finding their way by stars. Okay, so the growing darkness of night is a backdrop. You can say that as the night grew darker, it means the night is growing darker and darker. Okay, as you see that as the night approaches to midnight time. Okay, so it grew darker and darker. They found their way by stars. It means they started tracking the way by the light of stars. Okay, so they way by stars. Okay, now as you can see, if it is evening, that is 6 o'clock, and if you see the time at 12 a.m., so here the night became dark and here it began to get darker. Okay, so is the time at this time 12 a.m., so this is the darkest point of night, or you can say that so this is actually the growing darker, and at this time they found their way by stars, or you can say in the light of stars. During the time when, as can also be used to refer to an action or event that happens during the time when another action or event is taking place. Okay, so we can say, for example, as the meeting progressed, her confidence grew. Now, what happened when the meeting started? She was less confident, but as the meeting progressed, it means as the time passed. Okay, the meeting, it was going in a progressive manner. Her confidence grew up. Okay, the sentence suggests that her confidence was growing throughout the duration of the meeting. Okay, so this in a continuous manner, when an action is going on, so another action is also taking place, there also we can use as to show these two progressive actions. Now let us discuss a structure of as. Basic structure: as plus subordinate clause plus main clause. Okay, so here first we'll write as, and after that we'll have the subordinate clause, and after that we'll have the main clause. Okay, or it can be inverted. For example, first we'll have the main clause, then as, and then the subordinate clause. Okay, so this can be the structure. Okay, this is subordinate clause. So main clause plus as plus subordinate clause. So as you can see over here that this is SC and this is MC. It means this is subordinate clause and this is main clause. Now we not only take as to shift over here, we take the entire clause. It means as is always followed by the subordinate clause. Okay, now what are the components? As, this is the conjunction that introduces the time relationship. In the as clause, we as is actually the conjunction which is used to introduce the time relationship. It means whatever the main action is over there, this depends on some time, or this happens parallelly in another action. So this as, what it does, it actually connects two actions that are occurring simultaneously. Now subordinate clause, this clause introduced by as contains a subject and verb. It describes an action or event, the timing of which is relevant to the main clause. Okay, main clause, this is the primary statement of the sentence containing a subject and a verb. the action or event in the main clause is happening simultaneously with or in relation to the action or event in the subordinate clause. Now, what happens in case of main clause? The primary statement of the sentence, this is the primary statement, it means the key statement of the sentence, containing a subject and a verb. It means it's a structure, will be a sentence is like a structure in which we have first the subject and after that we have the verb. Okay, the action or event in the main clause. Now here we'll write the main verb or main action that is taking place. Okay, so we'll write that in this main clause is happening simultaneously with or in relation to the action or event in the subordinate clause. Okay, so whatever action we write in as clause or the subordinate clause, the main clause is another action that is taking place parallel to this action. Okay, for example, as the clock struck midnight, so this is one action. Cinderella left the ball, so this is the main clause in which some action is going on, and this action is going on with this clock struck midnight. Okay, here as the clock struck midnight is the subordinate clause indicating when Cinderella left the ball, the main clause. Okay, she hummed a tune as she worked, so as is the connector, she worked is the subordinate clause, and as she hummed a tune is the main clause. So this is the main action that is taking place in parallel to the time when she was working. Okay, she hummed a tune. Hummed means when we make a tune or a voice within our mouth. Okay, in this sentence, she hummed a tune is the main clause, and she worked is the subordinate clause, showing that humming occurred simultaneously with the work. Humming means when we speak out something, when we don't speak actually the words, but we make a tune within our mouth. It means without moving our lips. When we make some voice, like is in this type. Okay, in this manner. Now let us discuss rules associated with as. First of all, placement of clauses. As can introduce either the first or the second clause in a sentence. When as introduces the first clause, it is typically followed by a comma. Now, as I told you that if here is as, and after that will obviously have the subordinate clause, and after that this will be the main clause. Now, as we did in other connectors as well, the same rule will be applicable over here. After subordinate clause will have a comma, and after that we'll write the main clause. But if main clause occurs first and after that we have as and then the subordinate clause, here we need not to write or put any comma. Okay, now for example, as the sun rose, comma, the birds started singing. So you can see that this is subordinate clause and this is the main clause and this is as, and in between we have put a comma. When as follows the main clause, a comma is usually not needed. For example, the birds started singing as the sun rose. Okay, so here you can see the birds started singing. This is the main clause, as the sun rose. So this is the subordinate clause, and here we need not put a comma. Now, verb tense consistency. The verb tenses in both clauses should be consistent unless there is a specific reason to use different tenses. This consistency is important to accurately convey the time relationship. As she was studying, this is past continuous. She listened to music. This is past simple. It means both the clauses are in past tense. So basically we make both the clauses in the same tense unless it is required. Okay, or some special requirement is there. Simultaneity or overlapping time frames. Now, one more important thing, that is after as. Okay, whenever we write any subordinate clause, in fact, after as we'll have the subordinate clause, and in that we have the main clause. Now, there is a function of subordinate clause that is always consistent. That is, in subordinate clause we do not use any modal. So if we have to make our sentence in future tense, we'll use future tense in the main clause, whereas in subordinate clause we'll use the present tense. Okay, so here the combination will be of present and future tense, because in the subordinate clause we do not use any modal. So this should be kept in mind always. Okay. For example, if I say, as he will come, I will inform you. I will inform you. Now, do you think this sentence is correct? No, absolutely not. The sentence is incorrect. Why so? The correct sentence will be, actually this sentence is incorrect. Okay, let me mark it red. And to rectify it, what I will do, will remove will from here, and this come should be written as comes. So the correct sentence will be, as he comes, I will inform you. Okay, so this will be the correct sentence. Okay, we cannot make both the sentences in future tense. We'll make one in the future tense, that is main clause, and subordinate should be in present tense if it is in future tense. Otherwise, we can write both those clauses in the present tense as well. Okay. Now, simultaneity or overlapping time frames, as is used to indicate that two actions or events occur simultaneously or within overlapping time frames. Ensure that the actions linked by as logically can occur at the same time. Okay, overlapping means both the actions are taking place at the same time. Example, as the rain fell, so at the one hand rain is falling, okay, and rain is falling, and on the other hand the flowers begin to bloom. So these two actions are occurring simultaneously, or you can say at the same time. The time frames are overlapping. It means these two actions are occurring at the same time. For example, here is a flower, okay, and from here the rain drops, you can see. Okay, so the rain is dropping over these flowers, and these flowers are blooming. Okay, so these flowers are blooming. Okay, as you can see over here, so these two actions are occurring at the same time. Okay, now you can see that raindrops are occurring on this, and these flowers are blooming. So these two actions are occurring at the same time. Okay, I hope you understood this concept. Now let us move to the next one. Avoiding ambiguity. This is another important rule, or a rule about the usage of S. Be clear and precise. Precise means concise or brief in your sentence construction to avoid ambiguity. Ambiguity means double meaning. The clause introduced by S should clearly relate to the timing of the action in the main clause. Subordinate clause. The clause beginning with S is a subordinate clause. It cannot stand alone. Now, one most important thing about subordinate clause, or the identification of subordinate clause, can be seen as that it will the sentence in subordinate clause, it will not stand alone. For example, if I say, as she worked, so this is not the complete sentence. Okay, it will be like a phrase. Okay, but in the main clause, that structure will be subject plus verb plus object, so that will be the entire sentence that can stand alone as a complete sentence. But the subordinate clause, that should not be a complete sentence. Okay, that cannot stand alone as a complete sentence and is dependent on the main clause for its full meaning. Okay, so this should depend on the main clause for its full meaning. Unless the main clause, it is incomplete. Okay, now conjunction versus preposition. Now, as I told you in the earliest part of connector, that this connector can be divided on two bases of either it can be a conjunction or a preposition. So be aware that as can also function as a preposition or as a conjunction with different meanings. When used for time, it is a conjunction linking two clauses. In other contexts, it might have different uses, such as comparison. Example, as a teacher, she was very effective. So here we can use it as a comparison, in comparison, or in comparing. Now let us have some examples of as. Simultaneous actions. As the sun set, the city lights began to glow. The sentence indicates that the setting of the sun and the beginning of the city lights glowing happened at the same time. One action occurring during another. She received the call as she was leaving the house. Here, the action of receiving the call is happening at the same time as she is in the process of leaving the house. Then background context. As the storm continued, they played games to pass the time. The ongoing storm provides the time context in which they played games. Sequential actions. As the meeting ended, everyone applauded. This suggests that the applause began at or around the same time the meeting was concluding. Okay, so these two are sequential events. One adds as soon as one ends, another starts. Okay, repeated actions and over time. As the seasons changed, the landscape transformed dramatically. So it happens, you can say, frequently or on a regular interval. Okay, so this is repeated actions, and we know well that repeated actions are always shown through, you can say, indefinite tenses. Okay, the transformation of the landscape occurred simultaneously with the changing of the seasons over a period of time. Okay, so this can be shown in the past indefinite tense. Now, introducing an event. As the concert began, a sense of excitement filled the air. The beginning of the concert and the rising excitement are concurrent events. Describing a habit in the past. As I grew up, I spent every summer at my grandparents' house. Okay, as I grew up, it means it is showing the time of past of her or his childhood, that when she grew up, her summer vacation, she spent it in her grandparents' house. The sentence describes a habitual action is spending summers at the grandparents' house that occurred during the time of growing up. Okay. Now here we have already done connector as. Now it is time to start another connector, and that is until. Okay. So now we'll discuss until connector. Now here one most important thing is its spelling is UNTIL. Don't confuse it or don't mistake it with TILL. It is not until. No, it is UNTIL. So this should be carefully used, that the spelling of until is UNTIL and not UNTILL. That will be incorrect spelling. So the correct spelling of until is as it is written, that is UNTIL. Okay, so first thing for until, you should keep this in mind. Moreover, we have already discussed, when we discussed word unless, I told you that until and unless both serve the same meaning. The basic difference is that until is time bounded and unless is situation bounded. So what is actually the meaning of until? Let us discuss that. First of all, let us discuss the meaning of until. Until is a time denoting connector that is used to indicate the continuation of an action or situation up to a certain point in time, after which it stops or changes. Okay, it sets a boundary or limit in time for duration of an activity or condition. For example, if I say until the train arrives, until the train arrives, until the train arrives, let's revise the tables. Okay, let's revise the tables. So till the time train arrives, we'll revise the tables. Okay, now once the train arrived, stop revising the tables. Okay, so here until means till the time the train arrives. Okay, up to that time. Okay, until basically is a negative word. Also, this until is actually the time bounded situation, or you can say which has the time limit. So there we can use until. Usage of until, indicating the end point of an action or a state. Until specifies when an action or a state will cease. Cease means stop. Okay, or when a change is expected to happen. You should keep the document safe until the end of the year. It means till the end of the year. Now, until both serve the same meaning. But what is actually the difference between the two? We'll discuss it later on. But before that, let me tell you, you should keep the document safe until the end of the year. Obviously, the end of the year will come one day, and we know well that when is that day. But it should be kept until the end of the year, it means till the end of the year. Okay, so until is actually time bounded. Now if I say there is a blank, okay, after that I write you work hard, you work hard, you will not, you will not succeed. Okay, this is the sentence. Now another sentence again will have the blank. The clock strikes, strikes 2 p.m. I will not have lunch. I will not have lunch. Okay, so this is the sentence. Now if you see these two sentences, what will you write over here? Whether until or unless. Obviously you work hard, this is not time bounded, it is actually a situation which can happen anytime when you want. So here we'll write unless and not until. But if I say the clock strikes 2 p.m., it is obviously time bounded, because obviously there is a limit, there is a time when the clock strikes 2 p.m. So here we'll write until. So the correct sentence will be until the clock strikes 2 p.m. I will not have lunch. Okay, so these two sentences, you can see that this is situation bounded and this is time bounded. Now if I say unless the clock gets repaired, it will not give proper time, or everything will not be normal. So there will write unless, because there is no time limit for the clock to be repaired or to get repaired. Okay, now these two sentences can be formed. Now one is until and another is unless. Both the difference in both the words is actually unless is the situation bounded, whereas until is time bounded. Now let us move to the next one, that with negative constructions. In negative sentences, until is used to indicate that an action does not happen before a certain time, but it may happen at the time or afterwards. He didn't leave until 10 p.m. Now one most important thing, that after until, because until is a negative word, so just after until or in the immediate clause after until or the subordinate clause will not have any negative word. It means after until we can have the sentence in two clauses, one clause and the two clause. This is subordinate clause and this is the main clause. Now here in this subordinate clause we can't have a modal as well as any negative word. Okay, any negative word or any word of negation. Why so? In main clause we can have, because until is itself a negative word. Okay, and the same case applies in unless as well. He didn't leave until 10 p.m., meaning he left at 10 p.m. or possibly later. Future actions or states. Until is commonly used with future tense to describe something that will continue up to a particular moment. I will be in a meeting until 3 p.m. It means till this time. Okay. Past actions or states. When used with the past tense, until describes an action or a state that continued up to a specific point in the past. She lived in Paris until 2005. It means, until 2015. It means after 2015, she stopped to live there. Or she lived somewhere else. Conditional sentences. Until can be used in conditional sentences to specify the time frame within which a condition applies. Until you finish your homework, you cannot watch TV. Okay, it means till the time when your homework is finished. After that you can watch the TV, otherwise you won't. Starting point implicit. Often the starting point of the action or state is not mentioned, or as it is either understood from the context or not important. The focus is on when an action or state ends. Keep stirring the mixture until it thickens. Okay, it should mention the point of time. What is actually the point of time which is mentioned? That is a limit which has been set. Now keep stirring, it means suppose there is a dish and one has supposed to stir it. It means to shake this, you can say ladle in this bowl or in this vessel till the time it thickens. It means until it get thickens. Okay, until it start to get thick. Combination with other time expressions. Until can be combined with other time expressions for more specificity. The store is open from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Okay, it means from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now let us discuss the structure of until. Basic structure: main clause, then until, and then time clause. Or it can be inverted, that is until plus time clause plus main clause. Okay, so this time clause should only occur just after until. Components: main clause, this is the primary part of the sentence containing a subject and a verb, and it describes the ongoing action or state. So as we already have done earlier in the main clause and subordinate clause concept, here again will be the same concept. Until, this is the conjunction introduces the time clause, and time clause, this clause introduced by until contains a time reference and often includes a subject and a verb. It specifies the endpoint of the action or state mentioned in the main clause. Examples: I will wait here until you return. Main clause: I will wait here. Time clause: you return. Okay. Until the sun sets, we can continue playing. Time clause: the sun sets, and main clause: we can continue playing. Verb tense: the verb tense is the main clause in the main clause, and the time clause can vary depending on the overall meaning of the sentence. The main clause often uses present, future, or past tense, while the time clause typically uses present or the past tense. Negative constructions: when until is used in negative constructions, it indicates that the action in the main clause does not start before the time mentioned in the time clause. Example: he didn't start writing his essay until midnight. It means till midnight. Used with different times, the time clause introduced by until can refer to a specific time, an event, or a condition. Keep the door closed until I say otherwise. Okay. Rules associated with until. Usage: until is used to express a specific time or event up to which something continues or lasts. Okay. It is often used in sentences to convey the idea of a limit or endpoint in time. Okay, so it sets a limit that up to this point of time, this action can be going on. Position in a sentence: until typically appears at the beginning or middle of the sentence, connecting two clauses. It can also be placed at the end of a sentence in some cases, but this is less common, or you can say rarely used. Example sentences: we will wait here until the rain stops. So at the time of beginning. Okay. I will study until I understand the topic completely. Now here you can see that until is used in the middle of the sentence. Here also we have written until in the middle of the sentence. No, it is not at the beginning. It is in the middle. Okay, if I want to write this in the beginning, I can write until the rain stops. The rain stops. We will wait here. We will wait here. So this will be the sentence in which until is used in the beginning. Okay, in the beginning. So this is the difference, that if I want to use this in the beginning of the sentence, so until will be at the first part of the sentence, and if I want to use it in the beginning or middle of the sentence, it can be used, but after that the time clause or the subordinate clause should be mentioned. She plans to stay in Paris until the end of the month. Okay. Verb tense: when using until, it is essential to pay attention to the verb tenses in both clauses. The tense of the verb is in the main clause. The action that will happen after the specified time may differ from the tense in the subordinate clause, the action that continues up to a specified time. It means which has a limit. Present tense: if the action continues up to the present, and use present tense in the subordinate clause and future tense in the main clause. Example: she will stay at the party until her friends arrive. Past tense, if the action continued up to a past point, use past tense in the subordinate and past perfect tense in the main clause. Example, he read the book. This is past indefinite until he fell asleep. Okay, so this is past indefinite and this is also past indefinite. Also, we can read the past perfect tense. He had read the book. Okay, until he fell asleep. Prepositions, until is sometimes interchangeable with till, a shortened form of until. Both words are used in the same way, but till is considered less formal or is often used in spoken English. Now, actually, what is the difference between till and until? Actually, until is always a negative word, whereas till is a positive word. Okay. Now, we can begin the sentence using till, but we cannot begin the sentence using, we can begin the sentence using until. Okay, but by using till we cannot begin the sentence. We cannot begin the sentence using till. So this is the difference between till and until. Okay, otherwise both can be used interchangeably, both can be substituted, but we cannot begin the sentence using till, but we can use the word until in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, so this is the basic difference between until and till. Negative form, to express that something will continue until a particular point but will stop afterward, you can use not until or until not. Example, she didn't leave the office until the project was completed. Okay, so until is a negative word, we cannot use not with it. Okay, until is itself a negative word, we cannot use not with it. Okay, so to express that something will continue until a particular point but will stop afterward, you can use not until or until not, but don't use these two. Actually, we can use it like this, that in one clause we have until and in another clause we have not. We cannot use both the words together. Okay, both the words together cannot be used. Use with other time expressions, you can use until in the conjunction with other time expressions to provide more specific information about when an action or event will end. For example, until tomorrow morning, until next week, or until the end of the year. For example, we have to finish the project by Friday, so we will be working late every day until then. Okay, it means up to that particular time. Now let us have some examples of until. She waited at the bus stop until the bus arrived. You can play video games until dinner is ready. They worked diligently until the project deadline. Okay, I'll keep the secret until you promise not to tell anyone. Okay, until you promise not to tell anyone. So until here we are using with the word not. However, it should not be used. I'll keep the secret until you promise not to tell anyone. So this is not actually the framing the negative sentence, but we can use it otherwise. The store is open until 9 p.m. every day. We won't leave for the airport until the taxi arrives. He studied late into the night until he understood the concept. The playground is closed until further notice due to maintenance. She practiced the piano until her fingers ached. We won't start the movie until everyone is here. Now we'll discuss another connector, that is till. So first of all, let us discuss meaning of till. Till is a time denoting connector that is used in much the same way as until. It is a shortened form of until and has the same meaning and usage. As I told you that until and till are same, but the basic difference is that we cannot begin the sentence using till, but we can begin the sentence using until. It means until can begin the sentence, but till cannot. This is the basic difference between until and till. Also, till is a positive word, whereas until is a negative word. Till is a preposition or conjunction that indicates the time up to which an action or event continues, the point in time when something will stop happening. It is often used to express a limit or end point in time. So this is the usage of till is similar to that of until, or same you can say. Usage of till as a preposition. When till is used as a preposition, it is followed by a specific time or event, and it shows the limit of time up to which something continues. She worked diligently till midnight. It means after midnight she stopped working, or she did not work diligently. The action of working continued up to midnight. The party will go on till dawn. The party will continue up to the time of dawn. Okay. As a conjunction, till can also function as a conjunction connecting two clauses in a sentence, just like until. We wait here till you arrive. So connecting waiting action to the arrival. He won't leave till he finishes his work, connecting the leaving action or to the completion of work. With use with other time expressions, you can use till with other time expressions to provide more specific information about when an action or event will end. We will keep the restaurant open till 10:30 p.m. every day. This sale is valid till the end of the month. Okay, so here you can see the time boundation. The limit is the end of the month. Okay. Now, structure of till. Till as a preposition. Till is followed by a specific time, event, or condition. It indicates the time up to which an action or event continues, or the point in time when something will stop happening. It can be used to show the limit of time. Structure, action or event, then till, then a specific time, event or condition. I will study till midnight. So first of all, I will study. Midnight is actually the point of time or the limit. Okay. They played till the sun went down. She waited till her friends arrived. Okay. Till as a conjunction. Till can also function as a conjunction connecting two clauses in a sentence. It shows the relationship between the two clauses, with the first clause indicating the condition or the time up to which something continues, and the second clause indicating what happens afterward. It connects the action or event that continues to action to the action or event that follows. The structure 1 is clause 1, then till, then clause 2. Okay. Now, if I have to use yes, till can be used only in the middle of the sentence. We cannot begin the sentence using till. I will wait here till you finish your work. She won't leave till her guests arrive. He practiced till he till he perfected his skills. So he kept on practicing until he became perfect. Rules associated with till. Usage. Till is used to indicate the time up to which an action or event continues, or the point at which something will stop happening. It functions as a time connector. Position in a sentence. Till can be replaced at the beginning, middle, or at the end of a sentence. Depending on the desired emphasis and style, it connects two clauses. However, till cannot begin the sentence, or till should not begin the sentence. Okay, should not be used in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, or at the beginning of the sentence. Okay. Also, it should not be used in the end of the sentence formally. Beginning of a sentence. Till can start a sentence introducing the condition or time frame. However, till you finish your homework, you can't watch TV. Now, this sentence is rarely used. Okay, so this is just a rare scenario where we cannot use till in the beginning of the sentence, so we can avoid this concept. Middle of a sentence. Yes, this is of course the correct part. We should use in fact till in the middle of the sentence. Till can be placed between the two clauses. I'll wait here till you arrive. End of the sentence. Though less common, till can also be placed at the end of the sentence. You can't leave the room not till your chores are done. Verb tense. Similar to until, the verb tense used with till depends on the context of the action in relation to a specific time. Present tense. When the action continues up to the present or future, use present tense in the subordinate clause and future in the main clause. As I told you that in subordinate clause we do not use future tense anyhow. Example, I will wait here till you come back. Now you can see after till I have written present indefinite, whereas in the remaining clause I have written future indefinite. So this should be the combination. We cannot use any modal in the subordinate clause of any kind. Past tense, when the action continued up to a past point, use past tense in the subordinate clause and past perfect tense in the main clause. She waited till the rain stopped. Now for prepositions, till is a less formal variant of until. While till is common in spoken and informal language, until is more commonly used in formal writing. Both words have the same meaning and can be used interchangeably in most cases. However, till cannot begin a sentence. Till cannot begin a sentence, whereas begin a sentence, whereas until can begin. Okay, until begins. Okay, so this is the basic difference or the most important difference between until and till. Used with other time expressions, till can be combined with other time expressions to specify when an action or event will end. The store is open till 9 p.m. every day. Negative form, to express this that something will continue until a particular point of time but will stop afterward, you can use not till or till not. I won't leave the party till it is over. Avoiding double negatives, be careful not to use till in a way that creates a double negative which can lead to confusion. Ensure that the meaning of the sentence is clear. I cannot go till I don't finish my work. Now this sentence is incorrect, can be confusing and should be rephrased for clarity. We can write the sentence like, I can't go till I finish my work. Okay, don't is not required over here. Now let us have some examples of till. She practiced her piano lessons till midnight. The action of practicing continued to midnight or up to midnight. We can't start the game till everyone arrives. It means the start of the game is waiting for the arrival of everyone. He won't leave for the airport till his flight is confirmed. The departure is contingent on the confirmation of the flight. The store is open till 9 p.m. on weekdays. The store remains open up to 9 p.m. on weekdays. They waited patiently till the rain stopped. The waiting continued until the rain ceased. I will be working late till the project is completed. The work will continue until the project is finished. She won't eat her vegetables till she gets her dessert. Eating vegetables depends on receiving dessert. He promised to stay till the end of the movie. He will remain until the movie concludes. The party will continue till dawn. The party will last until the break of the day. We can't leave the restaurant till the bill arrives. The departure is dependent on the receiving of the bill. So these were some sentences of till or examples of till. So we have discussed three connectors over here and the basic difference is until and till, and we have also covered the difference between the two. However, until is a negative word and till is the positive verb. Both words serve the same meaning in the sentence. Okay. So I hope this session is beneficial for you all, and if you want to learn more connectors, be connected with me, or to know different concepts, be connected with me. Till then, thanks to you.